Hello artists! Today I'm going to show you how to make an impressionist painting using watercolor, paper, and a pencil. Now I'm going to use a Sharpie just so that you can see what I'm drawing here because I don't think a pencil would show up too good. Now I'm going to make a landscape, so I'm going to start with a tree here in the foreground. I'm not going to make a line that goes all the way to the top and bottom, just towards the middle, and then I'm going to add some bumps. These are going to be the leaves, and it's okay to make them big. Now, if at any parts in this video you need me to stop or slow down, just hit pause. You can also go back in the video if you want to see something again. Now at the bottom, I'm going to make little zigzags here, and that can be for the grass. There we go. And maybe some long lines for the texture of the tree bark. There we go. All right, now I'm going to add some hills. So let's put our pencil at the tree trunk and make a wavy line. It doesn't matter what your wavy line looks like. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Everyone's artwork can look different. Can you guess what I'm making here? With just some triangles, you can make mountains. If we put some zigzags at the top, it looks like there's snow at the top of the mountains. There we go. Now let's add a sun. I'm going to make a sunset because sunsets are very colorful. They make the sky all sorts of colors. I like that. Now when I look at my composition, I see a big open area. So let's put something here. What about a stream? And I'm going to go off the page. Now up here, since it's far away, I'm going to make my line very close to it. But as I come down here, I'm making my line far away. So here there's a big space between them. But way up here, there's a little space. There we go. Now we got something far, something close, something in all sections. So I think it's a pretty good composition. So let's get painting. You are going to take your paintbrush, dip it in some water, and then you are going to put it in the paint. And that wakes up the paint. So if your paint is all dry, you just got to get a little wet. Now when we paint, we are not going to fill in the entire shape. We're just going to do little dabs. Okay, we want this to look like an impressionist painting. And the impressionists love seeing brush strokes. That's all these little marks. These are all little brush strokes. And we're just going to start filling in our shapes with the obvious color, the color that you know it is. So our tree, for instance, is green, right? So let's put in the obvious color, which is green. So we'll go ahead, put in our dabs. And again, you don't have to cover all of the whites. Let's leave some white showing through so that it looks like an impressionist painting. Okay, tree trunks, what color are those normally? Those are brown, so let's put in our obvious colors there. Now the cool thing with watercolor is that you can mix your colors in the lid. So I want my grass to be green, but maybe I don't want it that green. I want a different green. So I'm going to pull some of this green here, and I'm just going to place it on my lid. There we go. I'm going to dip my brush, get some water, and let's see what happens if we add a color next to it, an analogous color. So yellow is next to green, so let's put in some yellow and see what happens to the green. Does it get lighter for you? Maybe you need some more yellow, so let's put some more yellow in there. And every time I have to go back to my yellow, I gotta dip it first, clean the brush, and we can even blot it on some paper. Sometimes I just dab it on the edge like that. Let's put in some more yellow, and that way our colors stay clean. You don't want muddy colors. So now we got a light green. The Impressionists love mixing colors. The only color they didn't really use that much was black. They didn't understand how to use black in nature. They thought that whenever you see something dark, like a shadow, it was really just a dark version of that color. So it could be a dark green or a dark red or a dark blue or a dark brown. Okay, we're filling in our grass now, not the whole shape, just dabs, brush strokes here and there. Okay, my sun will be yellow, but I don't want it a bright yellow. I'm going to put in some orange. Let's see what happens. Ooh, that looks more like a sunset color. I like that. Now, skies in the sunset can be lots of different colors. So this is where we will start playing with mixing colors. So let's start with some red. We'll put some red dabs. There we go. Have you ever seen a red sunset where the sky isn't blue anymore? It's all red or purple or orange or pink. It looks so cool. Now I'm going to put in some orange. And when I put in my orange, it's okay if it touches the red. Your colors can touch, they can overlap, they can mix. That is what makes it look like an Impressionist painting. I'm going to add some purple over here. So my sky goes from orange to red to purple. And let's see what that looks like. Cool. This is so much fun. I love painting. There's no wrong way to do it, really. I mean, look at all the beautiful colors. No matter what you do, you will have a very colorful piece of artwork. Here we go. We'll put in some blue, see what happens. Ooh, I like that. All right, let's put maybe some yellow by the orange. This is the fun part now. This is where we can start mixing colors and putting colors on top of each other. So I have a lot of red here. Let's see what happens if I put some purple on top. Now, because my colors are still wet, they're blending together. You could wait for this to dry and then come back later and paint on top, and then it won't mix as much. But I like painting when it's all wet. And that's kind of what the Impressionists did. They didn't wait for theirs to dry. They would paint right on top of it. Wet on wet. I'm adding some yellow in my tree now, and I think it could use some blue, maybe around this bushy part right there. I'll put some blue in. Wow. I like that. Kind of makes it pop out a little. Maybe some down here. There we go. And I'll put some more green in those spots. Make it a very green tree. Maybe it's the middle of July where all the plants are still very green. So my tree has green and blue and yellow in it. Now let's think about this trunk. Now brown is a really cool color because it's not actually on the color wheel, but if you think about it, it is the color wheel. Brown is all of the colors mixed together, so you can pick whatever color you want to mix with your tree. I'm adding some orange on this side, and I think on this side, I will add some purple. And I'm just dabbing. I am not filling in, right? I'm just dabbing. I like to keep those brush strokes. All right, let's put a little bit more brown back on top just to make everything seem connected. There we go. Now, let's start our mountains too. I like to make my mountains purplish and bluish, but I think I'm gonna make a color. So let's put a lot of purple here, a lot of purple there. It might touch my old color, but that's okay. I am okay with that. It's like experimenting. What kind of color can we make? I'm going to add more water to it so that it looks diluted. Diluted means when you add water to something, it kind of looks more transparent so that we can see through it. Now that's very blue, so I'm going to fix it a little bit. See, I'm adding more purple. There, now it's a little more purpley. And I might even just add straight purple right on top. So now I've got two different blues. This is more of a purple blue than my river, which is a very, very, very blue blue. I'm really liking my mountains. And I'm just dabbing. Maybe over here I can add some yellow or orange because it might be getting a lot more light than the rest of the mountain. So I'm going to add some orange here. Just a little. And then maybe back here, let's see what happens if I add just straight blue. Whoa, I like that. That's cool. All right, I think my mountains are done. I'm going to add some yellow to my river and maybe some purple up here. And then I'm going to add some blue and green and maybe some yellow and green to my grass. But I want to see what you guys make. I'm sure it would look super cool. So if you upload your pictures, make sure you tag Side Street in them so that we can see the cool thing that you're making.